I don't think that people really have a right to safety, or we can use this as a blanket excuse to put restrictions on companies within the free market. I think that that's really the role of the consumer. I mean, I think that's the role of the free market, to decide for itself in supply and demand.
She's making a conscious decision, I want to be safe, I don't want to drink and drive, and then to ultimately have that turn to where she's assaulted, you know, after having made a choice that she's trying to be safe. That's just horrific.
A particular Uber case where an individual picked up a young lady and she couldn't remember where she was going home, so he conveniently took her to his place where he sexually assaulted her. When we looked at the criminal history of the individual that was available, he had individual arrests that were disqualifying but were not seen because they were not available through a name-based check. They were only available through the fingerprint check to authorized entities.
I have worked cases that involved taxi cab drivers as suspects. And by knowing that they went through background checks that included fingerprinting, it makes working that case and identifying the person, along with all of the other information that's available in the course of an investigation because of technology that exists today, it gives you a higher probability of ensuring that the person at the end of that investigation is actually the person that needs to be held accountable.
In the past 3 months, we've worked with at least 4 survivors who were sexually assaulted or attempted sexual assault by a TNC driver. In each of those cases, the victim called a TNC to try to be safe after drinking alcohol, so as to not drive intoxicated. It horrifies me that in a woman's attempt to be safe, she might instead be assaulted.
A recent TNC driver that had been cleared by hirees underwent a City of Houston background check, fingerprint background check, that produced results showing that she had 24 alias names, 5 listed birth dates, 10 listed social security numbers, and an active warrant for her arrest. In the first 10 months after Houston's ordinance went into effect, our fingerprint-based background check found that several applicants for TNC licenses who had already passed a commercial criminal background check had a prior criminal history. The charges included murder, assault, battery, indecent exposure, DWI, aggravated robbery, larceny, reckless driving, and the unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. Houston does not compromise on public safety, and commercial background checks simply are not strong enough.
That has put us in the unique position of meeting with and hearing the stories of mostly young women who have been getting into a stranger's vehicle by themselves, often late at night, and sometimes under the influence. They are trusting that they will be delivered safe and sound to their destination. Since June, our forensic nursing assault program has seen 6 survivors reporting to us they were sexually assaulted by their TNC drivers.
Lyft would not reveal how many of its Austin area drivers have been fired after a sex-related complaint. Neither would Uber when we sat down with its local general manager.
And on a routine basis, part of our safety program, we will deactivate partners if they're not meeting our quality standards.
Have you deactivated any in Austin?
Since we've been here? Yes, we've deactivated partners in Austin.
How many?
I don't have that information.
Well, you're the GM. Did you not know? That's a fairly major metric.
Yeah, I don't have it handy. I don't actually have that number with me right now.
But I want to remind us of the facts which immediately preceded this debate and are not in question. TNC drivers were accused of sexually assaulting 7 women last fall in the span of 4 months. These awful incidents shake out to about 1 every other weekend, and that's just what was reported. Those reported incidents are the canary in the coal mine. The original ordinance requiring mandatory fingerprints was acknowledged by Chief Acevedo, and SafePlace is offering an important layer of protection not only in this industry but in many other industries that protect consumers. This best practice has not come under question. The threat to public safety has not decreased and has not been resolved. Simply put, you got it right the first time. But now, because 2 vendors have chosen not to be good partners by voluntarily self-regulating their businesses to keep the public we allow them to serve safe, they have spent corporate money to force Austin to hold them accountable through a $900,000 taxpayer-funded public vote.
And the police department and city councils about public safety. And I think if we're going to do it right, we need to go through that process, even though it's going to be a small inconvenience. I think they can get it done within 3 to 5 days, and I think we owe it to the community